Today on episode 130 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, an interview with our guy Dom Frederic, pick threes, and a TCF top three of canned/bottled drinks. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to episode 130 of Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook or Instagram. Check out both of our pages there. Go on over to YouTube. Subscribe there for all of our content in video form. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify. Give us a 5-star rating there. You can also check us out on Spreaker or Google Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Make sure that you follow the guys that I am joined with tonight. That is Zach at ZLiliaTCF and Matt at schools_01. I am Boomy at BoomyTCF. But boys, we are back. It truly feels like spring. We got rain all day today. High 40s, low 50s. I'm starting to think that better times are right around the corner.
That's very true. This is a TCF weather update. That's what we're going to start calling it.
Oh, of course.
But I think it's officially spring now, right? Like, I think officially official.
Me and Boomy went disc golfing a few times. We went a few times last week. We went once this week. It's a beautiful time for that until the real golf starts. But you can really feel the spring in the air. Yeah, spring in the air, not fall.
Spring has sprung.
Yeah.
Yes.
So was the groundhog right?
I think the groundhog's full of shit because he said it
was
I
think it was wrong because I don't think there was 6 weeks more of winter.
We talked about this too. The groundhog died, right? Like one of the major groundhogs died like right after Groundhog's Day too.
Yeah.
So you can't trust anything he was he was
on his deathbed.
Yeah.
Well, and I think they were saying, I think it was Hard Factor. They were saying that someone has went back statistically and he was hitting at like a 32% clip. So no, I don't trust that groundhog at all.
I could do 32%, trust me.
Yeah, seriously. I could throw darts at a board.
I have the receipts.
Seriously. It's unbelievable. But like
he should come pick some games for us.
Yeah.
Just take the opposite. We got a great interview coming up here shortly with our guy, Dom Frederic. You guys know him. You love him. We'll hop to that here in just a minute. But as always, we start off with sinkers and floaters. And my sinker is homophobic dog owners. And that is because a dog has went viral in, I think it was North Carolina, whose owners gave up this adorable dog because they feared that he was gay. And I don't understand people's logic because he may have made a gesture at another male dog. And now that these people who were his owners made an assumption about him. His name is Fezco. He was ditched at a shelter, and for some reason the owners stuck around and explained to the shelter that they were getting rid of him because they feared that he was gay, and then just kind of left. It went viral on social media late last week, and good story everywhere because Fezco has been adopted. So there is positive news to come out there, but what are we doing, people? A dog's a dog, all right? You can't. I just don't.
Really and truthfully, for this dog, it's gonna have a better life, anyways.
Exactly.
These owners suck. I mean, the dog should have a way better life with way better owner.
For one, male dogs hump fucking couches, so they hump literally anything that they can hump, they do. So let's just start there.
I think the moral of the story is these are horrible people.
Yeah. They don't deserve dogs.
What?
Like Rex Chapman said, dogs, bruh.
I don't like that guy.
Wait a second. Can I go right in my sinker real quick? My sinker is Rex Chapman.
Good. Guy sucks.
You know what? Whatever you want to say, he has whatever Twitter. He's not
by
very
adding
good
some
at his
bullshit
job.
caption on a dumb fucking video usually.
Well, not even that. Not even the Twitter's whatever. But like, he didn't even did he watch college basketball this season?
He's off
At
his
least
rocker.
or the tournament. Like, it's funny
Well,
when
not
like
even
Charles
that,
Barkley or Kenny the Jet Smith, when they don't kind of know some of the players because they've been doing NBA or whatever. But when Rex Chapman doesn't, it's not very funny.
I will say this. I like Rex Chapman's Twitter account. I find
no
it
problem with
entertaining.
I've never followed them on there. I have no problem with the Twitter. It's I'm trying to watch one of the greatest 4 days of college basketball, and I have a pregame, postgame, halftime of Rex Chapman. No.
Yeah, and the big one was, didn't he say that somebody had passed away when they were most certainly, in fact,
he was
not
working there still.
Yeah. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. I think he might have got a little over his skis. I think he was not as qualified. You said it the other day when we were talking about this, Zach. There had to have been someone else that has gone to school for this and is more qualified. But, like it's frustrating because, like you said, it's the one time a year that we get this, this glorious holiday that we have that is the NCAA tournament. And it just fell flat.
I like Frank Martin on the broadcast, like on the
yeah.
halftime show. That dude, he's got a lot of insight. He's a really good personality too. I think they need to feature him a lot more than they do, in my opinion. But
I agree.
No,
Frank Martin,
I like
electric.
Plus, he's I don't know if you guys listen to him on Pardon My Take, but his interview there was a really, really good listen. He just seems like a really good dude.
He gets it.
Really good coach, and he has that persona that he's a screamer and a yeller. But I don't know. Seems like a great guy.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna spin into my sinker. Mine's just. I'm sure you guys might have heard about this. It's been talked about on a couple podcasts and a lot of people talking on Twitter about it. But it's that new TikTok challenge with the Orbeez guns. It's in like going off in Central Florida is heavily where kids are taking those Orbeez, those water beads, and before you soak them in water, they're like little pellets, and kids are throwing them in, like BB guns and shit, and they have these Orbeez guns, and it's just one of those things where what are these kids doing, man? They're injuring people, injuring other kids, just kind of doing these random drive-by things where it's they're just lighting up, a woman walking out of the school today, I think was the newest one. They shot her, an Orby went right up in her nose.
Yeah.
One woman had her 7-year-old boy was shot in the neck, shot in the head. It's got leaving welts and shit everywhere. People are just out walking around and they're getting blasted with little pellets. It's what the fuck are you doing,
with
man?
people?
Yeah, it's just totally unnecessary. Just totally unnecessary.
Yeah, I saw it, and the biggest thing, like you said, Matt, there was a woman who was I think she was pushing her kid in a stroller and had gotten shot, with the Orbeez guns. It's okay, it's one thing you're shooting at your friends, you're screwing around in the backyard, but then you're
screwing around with friends like airsoft. That's one thing, but you're just shooting unsuspecting people just going about their lives. It's what kind of sick fucking kid are you?
All for a 15-second video.
Yeah.
Bring back Vine.
On a completely other note, my floater is a roadkill enthusiast, and that is because the state of Wyoming has released an app. Zach, you better get ready for this because you're not going to like this. They have released an app that allows you to mark when you hit an animal on the road, and someone can come and claim it. It says,
"Gosh,
yeah." It says here on the Associated Press that you can claim it, whether it's for whatever purpose you need, whether you want to eat it or use it for some sort of animal byproduct. But there's now an app. So if you're driving on a road in Wyoming and you happen to hit a deer, but you don't have any intention to process it or whatever the case is, you can mark on the highway where you hit this deer at the exact time, and someone will come and clean it up. So if you're looking for some cheap meat and some sort of animal that may wander around the highway, Wyoming might be your best shot. So, yeah, I saw that was wild.
That's disgusting. Imagine sitting
fast.
there on your phone like, oh, got to go get this roadkill a few miles.
Right,
down
you're
the
just
road.
sitting on the side of the interstate just waiting.
That's disgusting. My floater is watching sports with your buddies. There's nothing like it in life than watching sports with your buddies. Maybe everyone has the same bet. Maybe a few guys do. Just like you said, with March Madness, it seems like that's at the time of year when you always watch most of the games with your buddies, or you want to have a, like, especially the first few days. It's like, I want to go watch the games here, and we can all watch them together or whatever. And just watching just sports in general with your buddy, especially when you all have the same rooting interest, is awesome.
That's a good point. It's a good time of year for it, especially when you got a friend like you, Zach, that's got 4 or 5 TVs and you can get them all rolling at once. That always helps. Or you meet at a bar and watch those. It's definitely the best time of year for that. And I think we always end up doing it like whatever that is, the weekend that there's the Kentucky Derby, because there's always playoff basketball.
That's a good weekend.
Good call there.
All right. Mine is the new Amazon Prime football broadcast duo. I'm pretty pumped about that. I think Al Michaels is like probably the last of that generation. He is a one of a kind broadcaster for this era at this point. I guess I'm running out of the words for to describe, I think, what I'm trying to get at. But last of a dying breed, I guess, is one way to put it, for dating back to what he was in the 70s when he started calling games, I believe. And I think with him going with Herb Street on that Amazon Prime Thursday night game, they're taking over the broadcast rights for it. I think that duo is outstanding. I like Herb Street on the college game. I think he's really knowledgeable. He's like kind of can connect a little bit with the younger viewer and stuff like that. Knows how to talk to kids and stuff. He's got younger kids himself that I think are still in college. And, I think it's a good fit. I can't think off the top of my head if they've ever had a chance. I don't think they would have worked together at this point. So, but both longtime veterans. I'm sure they will pick up that chemistry pretty quick. So I'm pretty pumped about that. One other floater I needed to throw out too real quick was that the UFC going full WWE now with Masvidal and Covington getting into a literal fight outside of a restaurant, like Masvidal running up and jumping him. Like, what is going on? I think I'm all for it in terms of the entertainment factor. I'm not going to speak on the action. Like, it was just kind of a weird move in my opinion. But
sucker punch, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's kind of just like, don't really like the move myself, but I do like the WWE side storyline aspect that the UFC is churning out now at this point.
Hey, Covington did say it was on site, and it was on site.
Yeah, that phrase is getting kind of annoying to me. I don't know why.
But you know what I mean, though? They were both.
No, I totally know what you mean. Yeah, for sure. Like Poirier was saying it about Covington, and it's like, I don't know. It's just a weird, like, whatever. Like, on site.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, like I said, also our floater.
I guess I'm just old.
Our big floater this week is our guy Dom, though, and we've got him back. We're gonna go ahead and throw it to that interview. Thank you to our guy Dom Frederic for coming on as always. A lot to talk about with the MLB season getting going here, so let's go ahead and throw it to our interview with our guy Dom Frederic. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome back the GOAT of all TCF guests. We've had him on the pod at least 10 times now. You know him. You love him. He's the director of morale for your Cubbies. You can catch him on Twitter at Dom_Frederic, the man that needs no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Dom Frederic. Fred, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. It is, man, you guys need to go back in the archives to see when the first time was that I came on this podcast. Had to have been 2018.
Yeah, it probably was.
How long have you been doing it for?
We just had our 4-year anniversary back like January 31st, and it wasn't much longer after that.
Yeah, it had to have been 4 years.
Yeah, that's crazy,
yeah, dude. Wow, something like that. Anyways, you guys know you all are the best, and I'm super happy to be here. I'm fired up to talk Cubs, Bulls, whatever, and it's great to talk to you guys as always.
Yeah, we got the Bulls, like I said, playing well. We talked a little bit before how it's a little stressful right now for the Bulls, but we also got baseball coming up here.
Absolutely. And Zach, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to congratulate you guys. 130 episodes.
130.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, and that was even before we did like other ones too, before we started actually numbering our episodes or whatever.
130 is
so Fred,
lot.
actually, I got to interject here. We have 30 episodes. This was back in our Zach. What was it? Was it what's the SoundCloud when we used to release episodes on there? We have 30 episodes on there that
Put
we
the
haven't
link in all your tweets.
So we're at 160.
So this is actually 160.
That's not counting the morning show either.
The morning shows? Does that
no way.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
We're just
we had a string of content.
Wow.
We had that string of like a year where we were doing daily shows like 3 to 5 times a week. So
yeah, there was nothing else to do.
Yeah, that's true.
You had the morning shows. Wow.
Anyway, yeah, those got a little crazy.
Thank you very much, Tom.
You all deserve a big round of applause. Congrats.
That's very nice. That's very nice of you to say.
200 something, whatever it is. That's crazy.
I've only been here for like maybe half of it too. So that's more on these two. That's for sure.
It's all an accomplishment. It's awesome.
Thank you.
So Dom, I gotta ask. It was a busy day for you on Twitter. As Boomy, he threw out your obviously must follow Twitter handle out there, but I gotta ask you: is it different here now? Are you the direct marketing arm of the Chicago Cubs now, or what's the deal here?
You know, guys, I know you've been following me for a long time, or we've had a relationship for a long time now, and I think you probably picked up that I'm a stubborn individual that is just going to go along with whatever I think is the best, way to talk about the team or think about the team, whatever it may be. And
that's a good soldier speaking right
there.
Yeah,
you're right. And you know what? Eventually, people catch on. And I'm honored that the phrase is being used. I'm honored that I've been recognized and that I have had, how do I want to put it? Building a relationship, as I used to joke with Ian Happ, building a relationship with the Cubs. We're on the same page with everything. And yeah, it's cool. A lot of kind words today. It's kind of like I've been made fun of so often. I know a lot of people are fans of what I do, but I've been made fun of so often for like all my sayings, like Cubs in 4, like it's different here, like all the stupid stuff that I say, right? And then when you see something like this, which is like, I mean, much bigger than like a Twitter account. Like I think people forget like all the individuals that had to sign off on this and all like the big decisions that were made to make a major league franchises slogan be this. There's a lot of things that happen with that, and I don't want to call it validation, but it is, I don't know, it is kind of validating in a sense that kind of what you've been talking about for a long time with the Cubs is now actually being used by the organization. So it's really cool. And again, I'm very thankful for everyone that's been involved. And honestly, I thought there would be a lot of like hate or a lot of people saying like, oh, like you're going along with this guy again. There really wasn't any of that, and I appreciated that, and it was good to see.
Hey, a little silhouette of the morale bear in the background wouldn't have hurt. That's all I'm going to say.
You are right. I should have negotiated that a little harder. That's a great point. Yeah, it's actually a great point.
But it's a little faint one, just hide it in there like an Easter egg.
You're right.
It is true, though, after tweeting after 162 games every season and stuff, it's just got to feel good to like that they know what you're doing, and it's like it's not just been for nothing.
Yeah, and like I know we were talking before this, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but to get that type of recognition and to talk to the people in the building who actually know what I do, and they're not just like fake fans, and they're not just like Wilbons, and they're like they actually know what's going on. Now, I can't like speak for every single individual that works there, but to speak to a few and, really like have just like a really good conversation, not only about the Cubs and about the team and everything they want to do, but also like about what I do was humbling and definitely an experience that I'm incredibly thankful for.
That's awesome. We were kind of talking though before the podcast also that 2 weeks from tomorrow will be opening day. Dom, do you consider this offseason a win or a loss?
Oh man, that's a great question. Can I do like in between? Can I do like average?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna
sounds
call
81 and 81. That sounds like right.
I'm gonna
500 season.
I can't call it a loss because they did sign two hopefully very impactful players in Stroman. And Stroman's deal, like, I will go to the grave by saying this. I honestly think what happened, and I don't have any insider information on this, and if Jed wants to refute my opinion, please go ahead and do so. But I genuinely believe what happened is that last day of the deadline going into the lockout, Jed gets word on what the contract should look like to sign Marcus Stroman. He picks up the phone, calls the agent. Marcus gets to LAX, flies to the Federal Landmark, and they get one of the most team-friendly deals done in a while. 3 years for $71 million. I mean, why would you not pay that? It makes no sense. So, like, and I don't know why. I don't want to. This to sound negative, but I don't know why Marcus settled on that. I feel like the market would have been better. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but for 3 years, 71 mil, like that's nothing for a guy who's going to take the ball every day, a guy that's going to get ground balls, have an ERA under 3.5. Like we know what he is. He's consistent. He's had like a few, rough patches in his career, but not anything that would like really alarm you. And I think the money's very, very reasonable for what you're getting. For Ncaa, hopefully an impact player. I think there is going to be this adjustment period to what he can do, how he can produce, him obviously getting to know the major league game. Not trying to discredit the professional baseball he played in Japan, but I think there's definitely going to be an adjustment period. And I'm calling it a tie because A, they should have signed Carlos Correa. But B, the plus not only to the fact that they signed these guys, but they did sign them in this offseason. So hopefully in 23 and 24, Ncaa and Stroman are actually acclimated to Chicago, to the organization, and they can truly produce as professionals compared to a Jason Hayward coming in 2016, deer in the headlights, not going to work out, bad news coming in, hurt, expectations, doesn't work out in 2018. We know that story, right? So I think that's the positive, but the negative is that they didn't go all in to sign a premier shortstop who could, play a huge role in the organization for 10 years. Now, I know that's a lot to ask, but you're the Chicago Cubs. You're about to, buy Chelsea FC. Like, come on. There's no excuse for that. There's just not. I'm sorry. There's not.
Speaking of other names that have obviously been floated around, KB, Rizzo, Javi, left fielder are now signed other deals, and like you said, prove Jed was right. Can you explain to the Cubs fans who might still have a sour taste in their mouth after those trades and signings as to why Jed was, why he actually was now looking back? Obviously, we have retrospect, but looking back, why was Jed right on those?
Yeah, and I'm going to speak specifically to Javi and Rizzo. I think Chris is – it depends on who you talk to because this whole thing with Chris Bryant is still so confusing. There are some people that are adamant that he was never offered a deal. I find that incredibly incredibly hard to believe that he was just never.
That would set me off if that was legit.
Exactly. Like I find that just incredibly hard to believe. I know Cap has his report that he's gone off of for 4-something years. Heyman tweeted it out. I know maybe Buster Olney or Rosenthal has said something in the past about that. But regarding Javi and Rizzo, I mean, they took lesser deals. I mean, Rizzo even said it himself. And I don't want to say, like, I think the Jed is right thing is I don't think it's as binary as someone might take it. It's not like Jed is like celebrating that, you know, they signed lesser deals, because I think everyone, even him, would be like, our team would be better off if you had a Javi Baez or an Anthony Rizzo. But I can't fault him if he made these offers and then the players just didn't take it. And they didn't want to negotiate. And they said, you know what? And Rizzo has spoken about this adamantly over the years. And I've always paid attention to this. He's always made comments like, I can't wait until I cash in, or I can't wait till I get the big payday. He's always had that attitude, which he has every right to do so. But it ultimately, I mean, I'll say it now. It didn't work out for him because I know he's going to say, like, I can make this money when I'm 34, 35. But, Anthony, I'm sorry. Like, the track record doesn't really show that that's the case. Like, if you're betting on yourself at 34 and 35 and 36, you better have some big years in the next 2 years to, like, get that payday. I just think it's really hard. And I don't mean to discredit him, but I just find it really difficult that he's going to find himself in a scenario where he's going to cash in on something bigger than what the Cubs have given him.
Or with the Rizzo, though, it's like, unfortunately for him, he's in a spot where Yankees fans wanted Correa and they wanted the big signings. And then when they got Rizzo, it's not a bad signing for them, but they wanted more. Yeah. And you know how Yankees fans can get. It's just like
savages.
The problem for Rizzo
for him. I love Rizzo, and I think he got good money, but if he
plays a position that's easy to fill, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah. So, and I mean, the back is an issue. It's, you know, it's like
production's been an issue at times.
The production's been an issue, and like I was talking to a lot of people over the offseason who were saying, like, it just makes a lot of sense for Rizzo to come back to the Cubs, and I agree. Like,
I wouldn't have been upset.
Yeah, definitely. Left-handed hitter. He's not going to strike out. Veteran presence. He can get clutch hits. He can maybe hit for power. But at the same time, I don't think, like, you wouldn't be looking as that type of player to be a, like, big impact signing. He got a 2-year deal for a reason.
Right.
Like, you know, like, yeah, sure, he got the opt-out, but, like, he got it for the reason that, like, that's the market. Javi, on the other hand, like, I mean, I still can't believe the Cubs offered him $180 million and he turned that down. I just think it's crazy. And I know we got $140, but I mean, see, I don't want to come off like a jerk and say, like, good luck and sound like, oh, you're going to hate it there. But, like, the Tigers, like, you know, Detroit, like, I know that sounds bad. I know we got paid, but it's just not the same. I'm sorry. Like, I think some of these players, I tweeted out last week, I think this is the prime example of pride getting the best of human beings. Guys not, you know, taking their losses and just, I don't want to say settle, but, like, just taking the money that's there and right off in the sunset. If Anthony Rizzo takes that deal, $70 million, he's Derek Jeter. He's Derek Jeter in Chicago. Now he's I don't want to call him a journeyman, but he wasn't able to finish it. And I can't fault Jed by offering him a fair market price. What am I supposed to say? So it's, you know, and I know fans are going to be – I know fans have very strong feelings about this. I know people think that, you know, you should just pay them all. And I know I've made that argument myself. But I just can't – I can't – if I was to keep, you know, talking about Cubs baseball, I'd be lying if I said, no, they messed up. They messed up. It's all about the players. They're in the right. I can't say that. So it's unfortunate. and I've already gone over Chris. I might want you to cut this out, but I'm not surprised. He took the money and took the money with. It's it's gonna come off bad, but like I'm not surprised. This is
completely
what
fair.
we always thought was gonna happen. It was always about getting the contract.
Well, when you go with Boris, that's
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know if that's I don't want to sound like a jerk or mean by saying it or trying to disparage him for doing so, but I think I've talked to you guys about this. It always felt with Chris that everything he did, which he has every right to do so, always came with a dollar amount. It always came with, I need this in return to do that. I need that in return to do this. He has every right to do that, but I'm not surprised he ended up going to Colorado and taking the money. And he has every right to do it. I want to be clear on that.
Especially with an organization that has kind of run out some of their star players in a way.
Exactly.
Like Arenado wanted to get out of there. It's just like
let's not kid ourselves. The service time issue was a thing too.
Yeah,
that was a shot fired in his opinion.
For sure.
But I don't really think that went into it. I think it really was, where can I get the most money?
For sure.
Which is good for KB. Yeah, it's good for KB.
It's good
but
for
like
him.
you said, it didn't seem like it was where am I going to go win?
But
Scott Boras clients don't take hometown discounts at the end of the day.
No,
just don't.
Correct.
They don't take a discount at all.
Right.
Can we look at and I know they're different players, but actually I would kind of argue now at this stage in their career, they're kind of similar. We can see, and while it was Brizzo, while it was the two guys together, you can see the difference in opinion between Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo says, fine, I will take the loss of me not, signing with the Cubs and taking the money, and I'm going to go try to play for a team that can win a World Series or like get deep in the playoffs. Chris Bryant said, I'm good. I'm going to go to Colorado, and I'll see you in whatever, 6 years at the end of my career, right?
Yeah.
Like and I know people are going to listen to this and they'll be like, oh, Fred, he doesn't like Chris Bryant. That's not the case at all. But I'm not shocked that this is how it played out.
I gotta touch base on who's here now. Going down memory lane is great. But we got a season in front of us. So I want to talk to you real quick. Just get a quick opinion on Ncaa Suzuki. What do we as Cub fans need to expect? What do we got to get past the Kosuke Fukudome potential scares? I think what a lot of Cubs fans are seem to be afraid of.
Yeah, I would say honestly, if I would even go back to the Jason Hayward scares. I know it's not the same contract, but like I think the biggest thing that stands out to me now in talking to players and getting to know them, I think we need to limit expectations right off the bat. I think he's going to be in obviously a totally new environment, new country, different language. I think it's going to be very hard. And if he does succeed my expectation, it would be great. But I think it'd be very foolish to put very high expectations on him in year one, considering all the variables that he's going to have to go through. Power bat, supposedly makes good contact, good plate discipline, so on and so forth. I simply want to see him make progress over the year. Like he could start off hitting 100 in April, which would kind of suck. But if he can figure it out over the next 5 months, I think that would be a huge positive. And that's really what I'm looking at. I'm not looking for any specifics. Can he hit the ball hard? Nothing like that. It's can he get acclimated? Can he actually progress? Is he making the same mistakes over and over? Does he seem comfortable? We saw it with you, man. He was a Japanese player who had been in the major leagues for 6-7 years before he came to Chicago, and he still had an adjustment period here. I think we can't put too much on the guy. That's why it's important that we're signing him when we are. but I'm hoping that he can find himself in a situation where, as time goes on, he gets more comfortable, and then his true potential gets seen on a consistent basis.
That's so true, because it's got to be tough. I mean, he's a rock star over there, and he's won how many batting titles and stuff, and he's going to go to being an average. I mean, he could be great, but he's just going to be an average baseball player for a little while.
And can you imagine, he's an adult, and he's playing in this league where
I think he started playing professional baseball at 18 years old.
Yeah. And he's worshipped over there, right? They have the home run chants and everything. And now he's coming to a league that is arguably twice or three times as hard as the league he just played in, and got all this all these accolades from, and so on and so forth, and built up this persona or image from. It's got to be hard. It's like jumping from college into Major League Baseball and being expected to figure it out and produce. It's going to be tough. And we know there's going to be Cubs fans. As soon as this guy doesn't play good, it's going to be this guy sucks. This guy's the worst. This what a waste of money. It's going to happen. So we'll see how we
guilty.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's going to happen. So it's going to happen. And I know I've talked to you guys about it, but these players, they understand, and I think they're very in tune to what's being said about them online. It's just a fact. So we'll see how he responds.
So speaking of this coming season, Fred, Pacoda has the Cubs slated for about 70, 71-ish wins. What do you think is their true ceiling for the 2022 campaign?
Ceiling?
Despite what Pacoda says.
I would say a ceiling is probably, I think if they got to 85 or 86 wins, I think everyone would be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What? Now, I think obviously there's a lot that would have to go into that. You need Frank to be an absolute beast. You need Ncaa to be an impact player. You need Nico and Madrigal to literally be 300 hitters who are gonna get on base 380 and never strike out.
Dom, I have a question. Is Nico Horner the strongest person in Major League Baseball? He looks just absolutely jacked.
I know, he's huge. Yeah,
he's huge.
That one guy on the Cardinals, O'Neal, is that his name?
Yeah,
that guy looks like he's been juicing for a while. Nico definitely has been in the weight room. Going back, I would probably say 85, 86 wins is the max.
Okay.
I know, I'd always say keep the receipts on the Cubs and the Pacoda projections, and I've been hard on Pacoda. Maybe they can prove everybody wrong and really have a great receipt at the end of the year, but it's kind of hard to say otherwise. I think you're asking a lot for this team to do more than that, considering what they have. I mean, it can happen. We'd love to see our guy Ian put together a full season.
Yeah.
I think he would say the same thing. Put together a legit full 162 game season. I think that would be huge. We'll see. My only expectations are to see if these impact players are going to, make a difference. What happens with Wilson? I think he's gone. I don't think there's any chance.
Starting to lean the same way.
It's just all this stuff that's been coming out. I know Patrick Mooney just wrote an article literally titled "With Contract Extensions Doubtful and the Trade Deadline Looming." We're in March right now, and we're already talking about that. This is we're not even close to the middle of the season. I just don't see, and we've talked about this in the past. I just don't see him. I just don't see the relationship there.
Let's hope Amaya's ready.
Yeah, I mean, but even that, and people are might get mad at this, but you can get by with a catcher that can just handle a pitching staff, especially when you have the DH. You can get by with it, and I know that's not what Cubs fans want to hear, but I'm not disparaging what Wilson can do and the talent that he has, but
I think that's totally right. I think we've fallen in love with the World Series Cubs teams and everyone that was on that team, and
Yeah.
you just want to hold on to everybody. And I would
Yeah.
you'd love to keep Wilson around forever, but like you said, you can kind of work into that position, almost kind of like a running back on a football team.
Yeah, and I think that, and you're exactly right, Zach. And I think that argument's different than the idea just of spending and being a team with a top payroll. I think that's different than the conversation of, hey, we need to extend this guy because of what he's done or what he's meant to the organization. And again, I know I've made the argument at times that the Cubs should, well, back when I thought Anthony Rizzo was being lowballed and when I thought Chris Bryant was, not being treated right and all that type of stuff, I made that argument. But I just think I've been saying it a lot. I think Jed's a savage. I think he doesn't care. I think he wants to be Bill Belichick. Now the only problem is he's got to win like the Patriots, and it's up to him to figure out if he can do that. I just know that when Jed puts an offer down, that's the offer. Like, you're going to have a hard time negotiating that. Like, here's your offer. We gave you this offer because we've done the research to figure out what we believe you're worth, and this is what it is. And I'll try to reach out to the people that I know to see if his tactics or habits have changed. But from what I've been told, the Cubs front office are just savages when it comes to money. Here's the offer, take the offer or leave the offer. That's it.
At least they don't like do it different. I mean, they do the same thing.
Consistency.
There, thank you, Boomy.
Consistency. I think the one thing they can improve on is, hey, on the day Tom Ricketts is going to go buy Chelsea FC in England, why don't we give Wilson Contreras, the 1.25 that he wants? Let's just, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we just do that and save the headline, right? Let's just get that done. Even if we don't want to resign him, right? Even if we're going to trade him, just like let's cut our losses. Let's pick our battles.
Very true. Have you been watching some of the spring training games?
I have been. I'm very happy to, and I know you all are watching them too. Well, Zach, what's the deal with your TV? Do you have marquee yet or what?
I'm good. I'm good on marquee.
You do have it. Okay, you could.
I do not.
You don't, because of the area.
Because I'm very stubborn and I refuse to switch from Hulu Live.
You know what? I respect it. I respect it. I understand.
I can't do it.
I understand.
I don't want. It's not even that like I have this like moral obligation to Hulu Live. I'm just very busy right now, and I don't have time to. I can't even complain about it because it's probably going to take 40 minutes. Cancel Hulu Live, switch to something else. But I just don't want to do it. And now
I get it. You can find a stream online. I get it. I know.
Oh yeah, Reddit, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I get it. Marquee, yeah, I'm glad that they're watching. I'm glad that they're actually producing and showing each game this year, which I think is great.
Any names out of camp that you want to keep an eye on?
Our guy Scott Efros.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
God,
I got to show him a little bit more love. The one time I talked with him was on one of the Compound podcasts, and nice guy. It was great to talk to him, and he's come out and he looks like he can be a weapon for the bullpen, which is, you know what, man? Like, he changed his whole pitching style around and he's grinding it out, and
it's gonna be so hard to do.
Yeah, and he takes the ball like it's the last like freaking thing he's gonna do in his life, man. That guy takes the ball like he doesn't mess around when
he's going into a legitimate war.
Literally.
Yeah, I think the seams are gonna like break off the ball. He's just gonna squish it.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, but you know what? Those guys make a difference. That's like I don't want to put too much pressure on it, but like those are types of guys that you win playoff games with. Like fifth inning, guy on second, you need 1 out or you need 2 outs. Like, he's one of those guys that can get a tough righty out. And, so we'll see. I mean, he's one of the guys. Who else we got? I mean,
Fred, are any of those pieces that the Cubs picked up at the trade deadline, or any of those closer to being seen at Wrigley here this coming season than people might expect?
I mean, Owen Kaisi, if I'm saying his name right, he's probably the number one guy. Killian from the Giants, I think everyone's trying to see if he's actually going to be a legit big league starter. I think he could make his debut. I don't mean to dance around the question, Boomy, but what I want to know is what's up with Braylon. Because I'm starting to get worried. I'm starting to get worried on what his deal is. Because he hasn't pitched since the White Sox game in 2020 on the South Side. And I start to get worried when a guy just isn't playing and isn't participating.
We've seen that before.
Yeah, I know, right? We've seen that before. I start to get really worried when you have. It sounds like we're, and again, I'm not saying he's not hurt or he's not sick or he's not injured, but I feel like there's a lot of stuff around him to where he's not participating, and I find that kind of. I don't want to say disheartening, but worrisome.
Concerning. I think for sure.
Yeah, concerning. Because, like, Braylon was the number one prospect 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's kind of been forgotten about, and he's pitched in a big league game. And I don't know if it's a matter of him taking a bunch of steps back or if he's really, taken out of commission because of what's going on in his life. But I think we'd all agree, if you're not like doing what you have to do, like you're going to get passed up. And not only are you going to get passed up by someone in your organization, but you're going to get passed up by the rest of the league because the rest of the league's just getting better. Like the game gets better and better and better and better and better. And if you're not staying up to date with that and you're not improving yourself, then we're going to have some problems. And so I would probably say even if he doesn't pitch in a big league game, like, can we at least get some type of like numbers on him, some type of minor league experience? Because
just get him on a mound.
Exactly. I think to go what could be very well like 2 years of not like participating in a competitive game would be really troublesome.
Totally agree. Pete Crow Armstrong is another name I'm kind of interested to see how he develops. Yeah, that guy could be. If he lives up to the hype, could be an interesting piece.
Now, I should have listened to the interview, and I don't mean to go on a tangent, but I'm assuming when you talk to Frank the Tank, he had some strong words about PCA, or was that after the trade deadline? I know you guys had him on the show, right, Zach? The Tank, Frank.
I think we talked
from
to him last.
Barstool?
It was, yeah, I think it was before the trade for PCA.
Zach, you gotta get in there. You gotta reach out, Zach.
That guy is. I love Frank the Tank. He is one of the best.
No, I know.
He's an absolute wild man.
He is. He loves his teams, and he'll let you know.
He's got to be. Well, I didn't even see. Was he happy about Tyreek Hill going to the Dolphins?
He's happy about Tyreek Hill going to the Dolphins, but also he doesn't think Tua is going to be able to do it.
There you go.
That's fair.
So you gotta love Frank the Tank.
I can imagine, Zach. I can imagine you coordinating like him getting on this type of StreamYard service would be difficult. No.
Well, it's usually like, hey Frank, you want to come on? Yep. Are you good for this time? Yep. Okay. Very quick answers.
That guy's great.
But he's one of a kind. You gotta.
He's definitely a unique character.
Yeah.
Dom, I gotta go across the pond real quick too, and what I think might be the U.S. version of us receiving the Beatles from England. Maybe it's us giving the Dom to England in return. Are you going to say no to Ricketts with the Chelsea football club or the football club's supporters here, or what? Are you really? What I want to know is tell us why ultimately, the Ricketts family, Ken Griffin, why them trying to buy Chelsea is bad for Cubs fans.
I just think, and I've talked to a lot of people about this, I just think the more things you have your hand in, the more mistakes you're going to make. And I think that goes for anything in life. And I don't think, and like literally, I find it so ironic that the same ownership group that has made arguments for, let's say, biblical losses, or let's say, not having enough money because of the investments they've already made within and around Wrigleyville, how they cannot say that maybe an investment that they make in, I don't know, a European soccer club will not then come back to hurt the goddamn Chicago Cubs. I find it so ironic, disheartening, troubling that we can't like that they at least are not, I don't want to say admitting, but not like looking at, say, hey, like we're in a situation where we're cutting jobs within the Cubs organization. Maybe it's not the best time to now go and try to buy something. And I know Ken Griffin is a billionaire, just like
he was one of the wasn't he one of the AMC guys that took a bath there and then kind of manipulated the market back? I think he's the Citadel guy.
Citadel
took a bloodbath on that, I believe.
And I know he's worth a lot of money. I guess, again, the Ricketts family has every right to do whatever they want. And I'm not going to look – how do I want to say this? Like, ultimately, this is a Ricketts family thing. It's not a Cubs thing, and it's not like you can get mad at the Cubs because the Ricketts family are doing this. Like, it is solely a Ricketts family venture to try to go out and get this team. I just would think that if they had, and I'm not saying they don't, but if they were to look at what they are doing objectively and saying, we've gotten burned by our own mistakes, and they've admitted to this. Like they got over their skis with all the real estate stuff, and it hurt the team. Like, I don't know how they can't look in the mirror and say, I don't know if we're ready to do this. And I think every Cubs fan has the absolute right to worry about this hurting the team and, really diminishing the focus that the Ricketts family will have on the Chicago Cubs. Because I'll say it again, and I will always say this, I think the Chicago Cubs should have a top 3 payroll every year. I think they should be competitive every single year. Even if you're not trying or thinking you can win a World Series, there's no reason why you shouldn't be paying free agents on the market to then, hey, how about this? We paid this guy, and if he's good and we stink, well, then we'll flip him and get prospects. Like, you want to do that? Like, this is what Cubs fans don't understand this, and a lot of fans don't understand this. The money that's being saved does not go into the savings account. It goes into the checking account of the Ricketts family. I'm sorry. It does not go into savings like an allowance, and at the end of the month, oh, look, I got this much money and I can spend it because we sit. No, that's not how it works. It is literally, it's just a simple revenue over costs, and whatever's not is going back to the owners. And I would hope, considering that the Chicago Cubs have the highest or the most expensive fan experience in Major League Baseball, considering all the other things the fans pay for with this team and all the money that's brought in, I would think the obligation would be put on the Cubs to literally act as, and I might go on a tangent here. I know I'm already on one. I'm sorry. But literally act as an investor for Major League players. Hey, we're the Chicago Cubs. We have a bunch of money. We see all these players as assets. Maybe we're not going to win with them, but we'll still pay them. And then if another team wants them, we'll trade them off for prospects. This happens every day in corporate America. Like, I just don't understand, like, why fans let these owners off the hook when it's like it literally could benefit their own idea in trying to grow an organization. Nick Castellanos. Okay, let's sign Nick Castellanos for whatever deal. And if it doesn't work out, we'll trade him. And then we'll get the prospects back. And that's it. Like, If you don't do it, you're not doing anything unless you are blocking young talent like a Brennan Davis or a PCA in the future or a KEC or whoever it may be. Unless that situation is coming about, there's no reason for a big league team to not act as an investor for major league talent to either use or flip at the deadline. It doesn't make sense because that money only goes back into the pockets of the Ricketts family. Am I wrong?
No,
Am
you're
I
right.
wrong?
No.
Did you see what Jack Peterson had to say about other teams also not spending?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like these billionaires think that this is going to be so lucrative for them. It's like, well, you have to spend money also.
Yeah, you got to spend money. We need to start. We honestly need to start vetting some of these owners. We need to start, making the process to receive a franchise more difficult. I think we need to start regulating or relegating teams.
Yes.
Speaking of, whatever European soccer, I don't even know. It's the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like it's just an absolute joke that we have to deal with this. And I would hope, as a Cubs fan, that our team could set the standard to be, an organization that you would want to look at, or that the league would look at and say, this group is innovative. This group is changing the game. This organization is really doing something different than everyone else. And I think the Cubs should be that. And the optimistic side of me hopes that can maybe happen in the future. We'll see.
I don't have my own soccer team. I'm sorry. I was just going to say I don't have my own soccer team. Does that mean we got to be Chelsea fans? Like, because if they're good, that means more money. I don't know. I just don't know if we have to go with them or not.
I guess. I mean, I say this all the
What's
time.
good for the goose is good for the gander. Right?
I know, right? I say this all the time. It's like the Ricketts family are our parents. They give us.
They control us. They control our
do.
happiness, our sadness, our
exactly.
anger.
They give us the allowance. They give us the opportunities. They give us the vacations as a kid. Like they are. So it's I'm here with you guys, but I'm also like I also understand that like in my lifetime, the Ricketts family are probably always going to own the team, unless they find themselves in a situation where they're like, all right, this valuation of our franchise is way too high. We're getting out of this. But I'd be lying if I was like, there's no reason for the next, 60, 70 years that the Ricketts family aren't owning the team. That's just me, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, on the other hand, Fred, we talk about things that, make us happy. I know something that makes me happy. So we got to ask, are we going to get the Twitter spaces or clubhouse chats back again this season?
Oh, it's a great question. Hopefully, I got to talk to my guy Adam about it. Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Yeah, probably. I can't say for sure. I think it was good. I would like to transition into Twitter Spaces. We did everything exclusively on Clubhouse last year. I thought they went well, but we'll see. I want to make it a little bit more interesting. I wish we would have more. Maybe if we did go to Twitter Spaces, more people would join, and I'd get some more people that were.
It's easier to share there.
Yeah. There'd be more people that disagree with what I'm saying, and then we could have like a true back and forth. I love the people that would join. It was awesome, but it was often like everyone was kind of on the same page, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I would love to hear from like the person who's like, no, Dom, like you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And I think everyone knows how I would respond. Maybe I'd respond a little bit more formally than I would in the past, but I think if someone riled me up enough, then we could have some good healthy debate.
The Twitter troll factory would be out.
But it is true though. You like the love, but sometimes you like the hate too.
Yeah, you need some. You need
You need rivals in life. You can't go through life with everybody like on your side. You need an opponent. You know what I mean?
You're
like,
right.
give me something to hate.
I don't think people would be, I don't want to say as happy or notice the news that happened today if there weren't a lot of people out there that have given me a lot of crap over the years. A lot of people that think I'm the devil and think I'm the worst thing to, ever be associated with Cubs Twitter. Because I know there are people out there that believe that. And you know what? For those people, I'm sorry. God bless you and your family. That's all I have to say.
Just gotta show them just every time they say that, just send them the picture. Just be like, hey, hey buddy, next time you want to say something, did this.
It really would be. Maybe I don't mean to brag, but it would be kind of debilitating if you were like, man, this Dom guy is such an idiot. He says all this stupid stuff all the time. He's always saying these dumb shticks and jokes, and then literally like their team like came up with the exact same phrase for the yearly slogan. Like it's not like I hired a marketing firm to like come up with this. Like this is just like this is just like my brain that did it. It's not like I have this, think tank of people that came up with this years ago. Like this is just me. Like you could have done the same thing. So those for the people that don't like me out there, it's like I don't know what to tell you. This is just
that's called look at the scoreboard.
Yeah. It's just kind of like hard work and perseverance, if you will. I don't know.
That's awesome.
I think it's awesome, man.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Well, make sure that you check Fred out on Twitter and Instagram at Dom_Frederic. He's got the coffee going on. I'm sure that as soon as the season will be going, we'll be getting some more shirts out. But Dom, as always, man, thank you so much for joining us. You still hold the top plaque on the little board that I made myself over there as the most frequent guest. And as of right now, you're kind of running away with the race.
Yeah,
so
I think you've left the field a bunch of times at this point.
Yeah, so you're firmly at number one. But thank you as always for coming on, man.
No, you guys are the best. As I feel like I've said a lot the last couple times I've been on here. I've probably done, 50 different podcasts over the years, and you guys are, if you're not number one, you're top 2 or 3.
Hey, we'll take top 15. We're not greedy.
I'll take it.
No, get on the Mount Rushmore. Not happy.
You guys are absolutely up there, and whenever Zach gives me the DM, I know Zach, this one took a little bit longer to do, but whenever you
were busy. You were a busy man.
Whenever you send it, I never say no. I always try to find a time.
Very
well,
true.
you are the man.
We really
Dom.
appreciate that.
You got it.
Thanks, as always, to Fred for coming on. It's always a pleasure to have him. We're sitting somewhere between like 8 and 12 times having Dom Frederic on. So we'll have to make sure we get him back here soon. So as always, thank you to Fred for coming on. Let's jump into it, boys. We got a lot going on in the city. Bulls starting off the TCF Sports Minute. They are 42-30, currently sitting at the 5 seed. A little bit easier of a stretch coming up, but guys, I can't even lie and try to talk me off this ledge here. I'm worried. The panic button is out, and I have firmly laid my hand on it. I haven't pressed it yet, but the Bulls cannot beat good teams, and that worries me because the playoffs are about a month away.
Well, the good thing for you, Boomy, is that they are going to be playing some pretty bad teams coming up here.
That does help.
They got the Cavs who are pretty good in that kind of fold there, but they're still kind of struggling too. Lost to the Lakers at home just the other day. But I'm also pretty, I would say, a little nervous about the season, the way they've been playing as of late. But you can tell the defense is getting better. Patrick Williams getting in the fold, which is awesome to see. He'll probably start getting in that starting lineup by the end of the season. I think you are correct for thinking that, for feeling that way. But I also think we kind of got to feel the next week or so out. We got to win these games. We got to make sure we don't slip into that playoff.
Yeah,
playoff to get into the playoff.
I'm worried. I'm really worried. Like I said, I'm not smashing that panic button yet, but it's starting to get to that point.
No,
I mean, I don't know if
4
they
or
have
5 games are huge. They're huge. You got to win at least these next 5 games. You got to win 4 or 5.
I was probably okay until they lost to Sacramento, and then I'm like, wait, what the hell is going on here? Because Sacramento is not good. And I get those kinds of games happen, but like the fact that it's that combined with they literally have not beat another team in the NBA that is currently a seed 1 through 3.
That's very true.
So I mean, I think they're
And
going, like you said,
looked
Patrick Williams
not-
back is huge.
They look not good against the Bucks. Like not even
No.
close.
And the Bucks have started off a little slow, and now they're kind of playing gangbusters.
Yeah.
I mean, getting out of the second round. I mean, we're not even talking about the first round yet. I mean, the first round is not going to be easy. The East is loaded, like Matt has said before, and getting out of the second round right now. I hate to even seem like this, but right now, getting out of the second round seems highly unlikely. But a lot of time left.
Yeah, I've said it my whole cry this year seems like it's just been get healthy, and I feel like that's where I'm still at. Like I think Lonzo Ball just brings so much defense in the backcourt that they need added, along with Caruso being there, and
Just
I'm
not
a little
good
worried
updates on
myself.
him, though.
I don't think we're
They're-
going to see Lonzo Ball at all the rest of the season.
You don't think so? Yeah,
No, I really don't.
Well, they
That
shut
sucks.
him down as of recently from even running or anything for 10 days.
Yeah,
And they're just saying that it's just the treatment is not responding right, and it's like
What do
it's
we
a
got?
bone bruise.
4
So
weeks
bone
left of
bruises
the-
are hard.
Yeah, we got about a month left, and I feel like if this, we had gotten to this point back in late December, early January, he might be able to. But like, I have yet to hear a
Sucks, too, 'cause
positive update on it.
he's generally pretty durable too. I mean,
Yeah, that kind of plays into the worry.
Yeah, no, it's.
Well,
I don't know, man. It's nice to see Patrick Williams back. Get his legs under him a little bit. I think he's a big piece too, defensively, especially.
someone had the nerve to tell me the other day that Patrick Williams will be the biggest bust of the last 5 years, and it took about every ounce of my willpower to not tackle somebody.
being
He's already
serious?
not.
That
What
is
are we fucking talking
I
about?
swear to God, I will have to think about where it was.
He was
But I cannot remember.
he had a very good rookie year. I mean, it's people expect like every rookie to be an offensive 28 point a game, like just Ja Morant. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly. He's not John
What the
Morant,
fuck,
right?
dude? Like
He's not
Patrick
Colin
Williams
Sexton.
He got
He's
hurt.
a very, very he got hurt, and he's a very good defensive player. And he's not.
But
He was never
he was-
going to be a dynamite scorer. That's not his game.
Yeah.
He played summer league. He had a great summer. It was just he got hurt.
I got no issue with Patrick Williams at all.
Not at all.
On the other side of the United Center, the Blackhawks 22-32-9. Maddie, fill in the folks. Trade deadline happened, or has it passed yet?
Yeah, the two big moves were Hagel getting dealt. They got 2 first rounders from Tampa there, and some prospects. That one caught a lot of heat from Hawks fans for whatever reason. Caught a lot of heat from Jonathan Taves. So whatever.
What did he expect?
These slapping Band-Aids on these wounds that they've had for a few years. It doesn't work, dude. And you just need to get younger. Brandon Hagel he's a fine player, but he's a fine player on the
good
Hawks.
trade for the Blackhawks. They got good picks for
Two
next
first rounders
year.
for him, man. You can't not take that deal. I'm sorry. He's a fine player. He's not I don't think he's a franchise cornerstone, or he's ever going to be. And you strike while the iron's hot on a player like that. On the flip side, I think they're getting a lot of credit for the Fleury trade, which they're getting a conditional first. I think if the Wild make the conference finals, or if he plays, I think if he has five wins in the playoffs himself or something, I don't know what it was, but there's some conditions to it to turn that into a first, but otherwise the second rounder, which for basically a 1-year rental that you kind of took a flyer on hoping for this, you can't really argue. Goalies aren't going to fetch too much when you don't have any control after this year. The Wild are just kind of taking a chance on their salary cap situation's coming to roost here soon. So it's this is their throwing a Hail Mary kind of thing at trying to win a cup this year.
Well, and I think a lot of the public sentiment about that is because the public really liked Fleury and the way he handled everything, and saying he wanted to be in Chicago. So
you realize that team would be doormat city if they didn't have him.
Oh, seriously. No, I think he won a lot of fans over there, and obviously, you hate to see a guy like that go. But moving to
He's a future Hall of Famer. Very good.
Oh,
Very,
absolutely.
very, very, very good goalie still to this day. And I would not be upset to see him down the line back with the team if he's still playing.
Moving to the south side, the White Sox in spring training action. I got to ask both you guys this, and we'll keep it quick on the White Sox. Was this a failure of an offseason for the Southsiders?
Not yet. If they don't get Conforto, then
I think you would want a little bit more action if you were a fan, and especially with the Giolito news that they were off by like $200,000. Like, what are we doing here?
not even, Zach. It was like 50. It was like 50,000
That's crazy.
that they took him to arbitration over. It's like, what are you doing? Just
And
make
he
the
clearly
good
was
faith.
not happy today about it.
No, it's like literally make the good faith effort and keep your ace happy. Give him the $50K bonus or raise or however you want to look at it. It's a no-win situation by doing that for the Sox, because it doesn't help you financially. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking millions and billions of dollars, the $50K is pennies. I just don't understand it.
I feel like it's been a very underwhelming offseason for the White Sox. Now, I think the Harrison signing is good, but like you said, Matt, that it kind of all hinges right now on Michael Conforto.
Joe Kelly's a great addition to that bullpen.
I agree.
I don't want to diminish that, but you let Rodon go, and it's like Rodon was affordable again too. It's not like he couldn't. I just don't I don't know. It seems like the pieces are there for that team to be outstanding. And it's like they just don't want to take that extra, but they don't want to make that John Lester signing. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's bizarre.
Very bizarre. The thing we have all been watching the most in the last week, the NCAA tournament. We've got the Sweet 16 starting tonight, the Elite 8 Saturday, Sunday. So before we move on, boys, quick Final Four predictions that we're going to see after this weekend. I'll give you guys a second. I'll go ahead and start. I got Gonzaga coming out of the West. I've got Purdue coming out of the East. I'll take Villanova in the South. And I'm going to go Providence out of the Midwest.
So we're doing our Final Four?
Yeah. Who do you think is going to be the big winners this weekend?
Texas Tech. I will take Purdue. I will take Kansas, and then I'll take Houston.
All right. Houston played really well. I mean,
I think, like we were talking before the show, Illinois got a tough draw there.
Yeah. Yeah. Maddie, who you got, my man?
Yeah, I like the Zags coming out of the West. I think I'm going to go Houston in the South, man. The team's playing very, very well. And I think they match up really well with both Arizona, and then I think Michigan and Villanova both. That grind them out game it will slow down any of those offenses. That's for sure, in my opinion. When they're hitting shots like they were against Illinois, you play good defense, you hit threes like that, you're not going to lose to too many teams.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, and I think all those teams are flawed, in my opinion. Switch to the other side, UCLA, I think, is their experience is scary.
Just take your Tar Heels, Maddie. We believe you.
Being a Carolina fan, I think UCLA is going to come out of that side. I do feel like Carolina's got a chance. I think whoever wins that game. Carolina played Purdue earlier in the season. They got beat, and the score wasn't as indicative of how the game actually went. Carolina hung around for a while. They do have size, too, to play with Purdue, in my opinion. So I think that's where, like, having Baycott, having Manick, those are nice little assets. You get to pull Travion Williams out from the paint. You get to pull Edey out from the paint when you have guys that can, hit that 15-foot jumper and beyond. So, Ivy's a problem. Ivy's a problem for everybody, though. Yeah. So it's like, I think Carolina could do it. I think UCLA, their experience is dangerous, though. And they got good guards. Campbell, steady as hell, and Jaquez, and obviously Juzang he's a stud. So I'm going to go with UCLA on that one. I know it's a long-winded answer to get there. The other side, I like Miami to
keep the magic.
I'm picking Kansas. I think Miami's going to make it tough though.
I don't disagree. It's hard to argue against Ncaa, who's been there, done that. And
fucking
been
great coach, dude. He's a great coach.
Maddie, I really do think that UNC is going to win that game.
Do you? Yeah,
I think.
I don't think it's out of.
UCLA.
I don't think it's out of the. I don't think it's out of the question by any means. I don't know. I've seen this team so much this year go from look like they could contend for a national title to just being like just dog shit. So it's
you saw that one whole game.
They got housed by Pitt, dude. Like they got housed.
A bad Pitt team.
Like when I say they got smoked, they got fucking smoked against Pitt. And so it's like this very Jekyll and Hyde team. If RJ Davis or Caleb Love, either one of them is hitting some outside shots early in the game, that'll make it interesting. If both of them are cold, they don't have a chance.
Yeah. So then who you got in the West, Maddie?
Didn't I say? I said Gonzaga.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that one. So
yeah, I went based off days because Thursday they're playing together and the opposite sides. On Friday they're going opposite sides.
Gotcha. Well, next week we'll be talking about the Final Four matchups and the NCAA National Championship preview.
I kind of like doing it this way. We get a reset too, like because like from the original bracket, I was done within like the first 5 hours of the tournament, losing Kentucky and Iowa, my final. So it's like, hey, I get a reset here. I get to have another chance at maybe picking something.
Exactly, a little second chance opportunity. I know. I was not far behind you. I think I'm in like 34th out of 40 brackets in our TCF pool. So it's nice to like you said, get a little fresh start. But before we move on to the pick threes, we got to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. They've got the best coffee around. They work with our guy, Frederic, who you heard from earlier, Ian Happ. Me and Zach have been out to their location. We're heading out again there soon. It's amazing stuff. We love it. All of our friends love it. We know you'll love it. So make sure that you head over to their website, connectroasters.com. Follow them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. You can find their products in Foxtrot Market, Dom, some other places around the city. But connectroasters.com and at Connect Roasters. Make sure that you check them out for your latest coffee purchase. Boys, we got these pick threes, and we've got a gigantic sheet of pick threes here. So we're going to make this 2 of them. We're going to pick our top 3 and our bottom 3, but we're going to start with our top 3 on this list. Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first. You want me to do my top 3?
Top 3.
Top 3 is going to have to be McDonald's, Chipotle, and Five Guys.
Not bad choices. 2 burger companies. Your burger.
Actually,
guy,
you know what? I'll take McDonald's away. I'll put Panera.
Okay. Get a little spicy with the choices. I like that.
I hate Panera.
Yeah,
I'm out on Panera.
I was going to be nice about it tonight, Maddie. I'm in a good mood. I'm not the biggest fan of Panera. I think the last time I went, I spent like $16 for a sandwich and a cookie and maybe like one other thing in a drink. So I was like,
Maggie loves it. And one of like the 4 things my kid eats is Panera mac and cheese. And he's obsessed with it. And it's expensive. And they give you like next to nothing. And the kid just drains me of it. It's ridiculous. That's some of it's built up, hate from that.
Yeah,
I will admit my jade there. But for my 3, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take 5 Guys as well. I'm gonna go Chick-fil-A, and I'm gonna go with a sentimental pick. Going back to college, it was the first time I had it, and I loved it there. And They kind of closed up shop in a lot of the areas around here. Is Qdoba. Love Qdoba.
Yes,
At the bottom
great
left.
choice,
It's covered.
Maddie.
It's covered by the banner just left
Oh,
of Dunkin'
yeah.
Donuts in case you can't see it. But Qdoba is a monster in my opinion.
Matt,
Love
that's a
that place.
phenomenal pick.
I love that. Oh yeah, give me that chicken queso burrito, dude, from there.
Oh.
Oh God.
And the big thing Qdoba had going for it when the burrito wars started was Qdoba had queso and Chipotle did not. And I would literally drive to the other side of DeKalb just to go to Qdoba instead of Chipotle.
I like Chipotle, but Qdoba just was a different level for me.
Yeah, you could go nachos. You had a lot more choices. That's a great pick. I like that, Matt. I'm going to go with probably some of the places I frequent the most. I eat Chipotle probably twice a week, so I have to take Chipotle. I'm going to go with one of my favorite kind of fast pizza places. I'm going Domino's. Domino's is incredible, and people that don't like Domino's, I don't understand. Did you not have Domino's in the last 10 years? I mean, it's not like quality. I don't even want to say it's not quality. It's not like artisan pizza, but it's the classic takeout. They've always got great coupons. They got the garlic butter on the crust. Domino's is incredible. They just opened one in the town I work. I go there way more than I should. I've got to go Domino's. And my last pick, there's some really good choices here. Subway, variety. Give me Subway all day. Some honorable mentions. I will say Moe's is pretty good. There's just not any around here.
Jack in the
McDonald's.
Boxes I like.
Arby's is good, in my opinion.
Arby's has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Zach, that's a good point, though. Like Jack in the Box, where was the last place you saw Jack in the Box?
Missouri.
Okay, I think that's where I last saw one, and it was actually way better than I expected. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Arby's too, Matt. I believe they hired like a new CEO or something and completely revamped the.
Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is good too on there, and Dunkin'.
I don't know if I've been to more than one Tim Hortons, but obviously huge in Canada. So a lot of good choice here. I've been by a Jason's Deli. Have any of you guys ever been to Jason's Deli?
No.
Zach, never. I know there's one in Rockford, but that's about all I know.
I'm a big fan of Jersey Mike's. I like that place a lot.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with. They do a quality sub sandwich. All right, boys, before we move on, let's go through the 3 least favorite places on this menu, or places we don't go to or don't like or whatever. I'm going to start. We're going to go reverse order. Give me Dunkin' Donuts. Don't drink coffee. Not really a Dunkin' Donuts guy. I don't know. I just never really go there. I will go Dairy Queen. I'll eat the blizzards. Don't need the food. And then my final one. This is going to be a hot take. This is actually it's between 2, and I'm going to tell you both of them at the end. But I'm going to go Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut kind of stinks.
I can't remember the last time I had Pizza Hut.
Yeah, it's been at least 5. My other choice in that, my 3B, was going to be KFC. I think KFC is not very good.
It's all right. I like the Famous Bowl.
See, and Zach, you can attest to this. The one in our town, not good. And
Not
then
the best.
The one in the town I work in, also very not good. So it's
true.
It's slim pickings for the KFCs around here. What do you guys got?
I already gave one away. It was Panera for deep-seated hate.
For money reasons.
Yeah, number 2, Pizza Hut. Number 2, Pizza Hut, because it's like it's just you see that logo and you literally get acid reflux just looking at the logo. And then Subway. I think Subway's gross. So
there's a lot of people who like Jimmy John's.
It's not bad. I don't mind Jimmy John's.
It's okay.
See that. I'm gonna go with Arby's.
I like the jalapeno chips from there. I like those. Those are dynamite.
Arby's.
Sonic.
Oh, I like Sonic. It's good stuff.
I had nothing to. Boomy's always got something to say about everyone's picks. I didn't say a word during yours.
I just made a noise. I was just.
And think your place I'm not a fan of. I guess I could go with Dairy Queen because I mean I don't eat really not a big ice cream guy, and their food's not good.
Yeah, I believe we talked about that last week. Like I'd go there.
How'd I forget Little Caesars? That place is trash too.
Come on, I love
Little
Caesars.
Oh, gross.
I got very sad
gross.
that Little Caesars in the town I work in.
You kind of have to know what you're getting with that. I mean, their pizza that's very.
It's a $5 pizza. What do you expect?
I'd rather get a $5.
I just said that. I just said that.
I know. What are the expectations on a $5 pizza?
Why is it on this list then?
Probably why it's on his list.
$5 will take me a lot farther at a lot of these other places than that.
I don't think that's true.
I do. Give me 2 double cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Boom. Rather have that than a Little Caesars pizza.
I guess
gross. Little Caesars is absolutely it's just dumpster pizza.
It's not great, but if you add in an order of crazy bread with some sauce, it'll make up for it.
Oh god.
You got enough of that.
That sauce is so gross. Oh my god.
No, I don't go there. I go garlic butter sauce.
Oh,
I lick that garlic butter sauce off the floor if I had to.
That makes me want to throw up.
If you could put enough garlic butter sauce on that $5 pizza, it tastes like $7.
Yeah, you can do that with a Tombstone too.
Yeah, so there's some mixed bag of choices here. But before we wrap things up, as always, we got a TCF top 3. And this week, being the fact we all sit around and watch sports, we got to have something to drink. So we're going to do our best or favorite canned/bottled adult beverages here. Zach, get us started.
I know I can't take all of them, so I'm just going to go with one specific one. It's a Bud Light aluminum bottle.
You have always been a big Bud Light bottle guy.
I usually get them at casinos.
Or sporting events.
Well, yeah, like sporting events. But usually a casino is where I'll get because they stay cold for a while. You could put them in the cup holder if you're playing like blackjack or poker or something. And they're just, you can put the cap back on.
I'm not a Bud Light guy, but I'm with you on the aluminum bottles.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't take all aluminum bottles, so I just took one specific one.
The Coors Light.
The Coors one's awesome
wide
too.
Mouth. Yeah, the wide mouth ones, those stay so cold, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to disagree. Matt, do you want to go second or do you want the wraparound?
I'll go second. I'm gonna go with an easy one I like especially a lot now is the High Noon Lime. It's very it's perfect.
I've ever had that.
Like, oh, it's outstanding. It's like the perfect little. It's like tastes like a straight up cocktail. You can drink them all day.
You have to try that.
The lime's great, dude. It's just like it almost tastes just like a regular vodka soda with a lime.
I'll have to see if the liquor store.
Very chill cocktail. You can drink 1,000 of them without feeling gross. That's what I like about them too.
Until the next day.
Good choice.
Yeah, until the next day. I don't disagree with that. It's more just like, some of those like I don't know, like I've never had a White Claw, but I've had like 1 or 2 of those Trulies before. And those things, like, literally, like, after 1 or 2, it's like, oh my god, you feel like you just like you're.
It is true because, like, if you think about it, like High Noons are only sold at liquor stores because it doesn't have like that, like the malt liquor in it or whatever.
Yeah, they say it's vodka and juice, but
yeah,
whatever, it's good.
Just like if only beer is sold somewhere, there won't be High Noons.
Most of their flavors are pretty good.
Sorry, go ahead, Boomy.
I'm going to go, Matt, I believe this place is not far from you, but Two Brothers makes a canned mojito, and it is just refreshing. And that's what I'm going to take.
That sounds good.
Oh, boy, is it something else.
It does sound delicious.
I might have to look into that, and it's not far. You're correct. It's like 10-15 minutes from here.
Yeah, they sell them in like 4 packs of cans, just very light and refreshing. I love a good mojito.
They have good beers, too.
That is true. I have had some of that. Some of their different choices. My second round pick, I'm going to go with I like this one a lot, and I don't know why, but it's the Truly Spicy Mango. Not very spicy, just a little bit of the it almost tastes like there's like tahini in it. Love the mango flavor, love the tropical flavor. give me a little bit of the spice into it.
Was that what wifey calls you, a spicy mango?
She wasn't supposed to tell you, all right? Maddie, your second
is it
round
me?
pick.
Beautiful. Man, there's so many out there. It's like I don't know which beer. I'm just gonna do it. Like that Coors Light aluminum pint is perfect. It stays ice cold.
It is
Like
perfect.
Zach said, the aluminum bottle they transport well. They stay ice cold. They're bigger than
them.
Yeah, they're bigger than the regular cans, so you get the 16-ounce out of it as opposed to the 12. So I don't know. I like them. They're really good. Perfect beer.
That's a good pick. I'm gonna go with Shiner beer. I had the holiday cheer, and it's like a. What would you say it is, Boomy?
It's just like a lager, you know.
I'm not like a big fan of usually different kinds of beers, but I really like this kind. Just make sure you don't drink too many of them because they will catch up with you. And then I'm gonna go with the Black Cherry High Noon. Love it, love it, love it. Could drink a million of them.
Black cherry's
You are
good.
big.
Yeah, I that's the first one I had was black cherry. When I tried the lime, I did like that better, but definitely black cherry cannot go wrong with either.
It's yummy.
Tasty. I'm gonna go with a local brewery down in Bourbonnais, Brickstone. Their APA.
Oh, we went there.
We've been there.
Yeah, I've heard it's a nice restaurant.
Boomy actually got a 4-pack of beer from there.
Yep.
Their APA is absolutely outstanding. It's like a pretty decent content beer, but doesn't feel super heavy. Another one you don't need 4 or 5. Like a couple of those things will give you a nice pop to it. So they're not super filling though either. Just a good like craft beer. Get them at Benny's, Jewel, find them everywhere. They're really good.
Yeah, we love that place. Probably be going back there when we head back.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about that restaurant.
Phenomenal stuff. Good food, good drinks. Can't go wrong. My last pick, it's probably a company most people have heard of, but it's called Cutwater. They do like cocktails in a can, and I will pick my favorite. I'm going to go. There's so many good choices here. Let's keep it simple. The rum and cola from Cutwater. They're not super expensive. A little bit more than just like a canned beer, but also a little bit more of a punch in there. So basically anything by Cutwater, but I'll specifically go the rum and colas. Let us know what we missed out on. Can you guys come up with anything off the top of your head that we missed out?
Any of those canned like
any High Noon
Moscow
really
mules?
Yeah.
Other than the pineapple.
Solid. I don't mind the pineapple. It's
I
like the pineapple.
I've actually had one the other day by accident, and I don't mind it, but I've already made this whole stance, so I kind of have to stay with
The
it.
grapefruit one kind of tastes like squirt. It's not too bad.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Passion fruit is very delicious. High Noon.
Passion
That's
fruit
the one
one
I
is
have
good.
not had.
Yeah, you got to get the tropical mix pack, I think, to get it.
Oh, I see.
They're good. They're a little pricey, but they're good.
I've had that.
I also
very pricey.
I bring these to Zach's house a lot, but they're called Ranch Waters. I think they're like tequila soda, and I'm a big fan. They make
say
a
to those
spicy
people.
one.
Those people need to change the name.
Yeah, it is a little misleading, but they make
Ranch
a spicy
water
one.
sounds disgusting.
That actually, I feel dumb. That should have been my third round pick because I have a lot of those. Let us know what we missed out on. Send it to us on Twitter at @typical_Chicago. But we'd like to thank you for joining us. That was episode 130 of Typical Chicago Fans. Thanks to our guy, Dom Frederic, as always, for hopping on. We'll make sure we have Fred back on here soon. You can check us out on Twitter, like I said, at @typical_Chicago. Head to the Facebook or the Instagram page. YouTube, subscribe there for our content in video form. Subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. You can follow me at BoomyTCF. Follow Zach at ZLiliaTCF, and of course, Maddie at schools_01. That was episode 130 of Typical_Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.